basic definition of natural, because as a formulator for my own company, I always get questions like, oh, is this all natural? Is this, is it organic? Is it so on and so forth? But distinguishing between natural and synthetic. And the best example that I could use for that is an essential oil versus a fragrance oil. And so I know many of you might like, pomegranate and kiwi and essential oil. Yeah, those don't make that. Kiwi and blueberry and so forth. But those are fragrance oils. Anytime you have those scents, those are actually fragrance oils made in a lab, so it's synthetic. There are no therapeutic properties to it. You may like the scent, you may appreciate it, but there isn't a therapeutic side of it, and that's okay. But just having that understanding. So if a product, it might have organic ingredients in it, or it might have natural oils like coconut and so forth in it, but once it has a synthetic item in there, it's not 100% all natural. And I just think that that's important because lately, all natural and organic have become kind of like marketing terms that a lot of companies just use to draw people. So having that understanding. So I am going to pass a few things around. The first thing, this is a lemongrass essential oil. And I thought this was the only product that I thought you could probably find in the store somewhere. This is a lemongrass essential oil. This is made from a plant. And so with an essential oil, it's not synthetic. You have your plant. It could be lemongrass or lavender or rose or orange peel. And there are different processes that you use to get the oil out of the plant. And that pure oil is the essential oil, and it's natural. One thing with essential oils, there are only 2 essential oils that you can use on your skin without diluting it, meaning like mixing it with something else. That's lavender and tea tree. So in the case of the lemongrass, you wouldn't be like, oh girl, I love lemongrass, and then you just kind of put some on your hand and start dabbing it all over your skin because it's easy for your skin. So you want to dilute 1 or 2 drops in about a tablespoon or 2 of what's called a carrier oil. That could be coconut, olive, sunflower, whatever you feel most comfortable with. So just having a deep understanding. The second example that I have here is the jasmine. This is by Now. I brought this because Now makes essential oils as well. But this is a fragrance oil. And so you'll see here it says jasmine essential oil. And even though it smells like what jasmine would smell like, it's synthetic. So it's made in a lab. It might be soothing to you, but in the end, it doesn't have any therapeutic properties. So, and then I'll just pass these last 2 around. This one is fresh bamboo. You can't get a bamboo essential oil. So this is an example of synthetic fragrance oil. So just kind of knowing the difference. And this one is anise or anise. And this is an essential oil.
Question.
Thank you.
Which one was made by Now that is a synthetic oil?
It's a jasmine scented oil. You're welcome. So that's just like a basic overview. There are a lot of many other topics that we can talk about in terms of natural versus synthetic, but that's just a basic understanding or overview when it comes to scents in terms of essential oils and synthetic fragrance oils. The other thing that I wanted to mention, there are different ways that you can test essential oils to see if they're pure or what's called unadulterated. And so one of the things that you can do is if you have a napkin, tissue paper, or just a white tissue paper, you drop the essential oil on it and you just leave it. If it dries up clear, that means it's unadulterated or it's not cut with anything. And if it doesn't, then that means it's been, mixed with something to stretch it out. And so that's why it's important to kind of find really good suppliers. You might pay a little bit more for the essential oil, but at least you're getting 100% of that oil that you want, and that is still really good quality. And some suppliers, if they do mix it, for example, jasmine comes in an absolute form. It doesn't come in a resin quality. Suppliers that mix it will tell you, okay, it's 4% jasmine, absolute mix, and grape seed. And so, okay. Any more questions about that? Like my hand off. Okay, the other thing that I wanted to talk about was water-based herbal preparation or water infusion. This is really, really easy. It's like the simplest thing. What I brought in was like everything that I brought in is like things that you can go home today and do. If you have it in your pantry, go to the grocery store and do it if you want. So this is chamomile, lavender, rosemary. You can either find this at a herbal store or in the tea section of a supermarket. And so there are many things you can do with this, from facial steam to soaking in the tub to hair rinses to mist for your body. There are a lot of things that you can do, and the options are endless because there's so many herbs that exist that you can just kind of blend and blend and blend until you more or less, no longer exist. But so this is the way that you would do an infusion. You'd use about 1 to 2 or 1 to 4 tablespoons of your herb or herbs of choice, and put it in a muslin bag or your grandma's knee high or something, and then you just infuse it either in the tub or in a pitcher. You let it cool. If you're using it for a hair rinse, you would use it as the final rinse. The cool, very clean. It seals the cuticles, and then it gives you a really nice sheen, and then you also get a nice scent. Like I like to do rosemary when I rinse my hair, and it's good if you have darker colored hair to rinse with, to a final rinse with rosemary. If you do a facial steam, which I like to do, I usually do like, once a week, I'll do like an at-home treatment, and I'll put a little bit of the herbs of my choice in a bowl. I'll put some hot water in it, kind of let it steam a little bit with the plate covered over it, and then I'll put my head over the bowl, cover with the towel, and just inhale the mist and let it clean out my pores. It opens up your pores, gets rid of impurities, and then you can either do a facial mask, or you can, I like to use like a toner, it could be like aloe vera juice, or an herbal water if you want to, and just get rid of any impurities, especially if you wear a lot of makeup, or in the summer when you're feeling very oily. Like I tend to break up, I have like a bump right here right now and on my forehead just from being at the French market for the past week, and that's hot, weather. So those are some easy things that you can do. In terms of the mist, like if you do the herbal infusion, you infuse the herbs into the water and let it cool. You can actually just put it in a little spray bottle. If you're out at a picnic, put it in the ice chest, and you get really hot, just mist them on yourself. It's very refreshing. Anything that has water in it should not be kept, just out, like in your bathroom, just hanging around. Water breeds bacteria and other microbes and tiny living things. And so this is kind of like in the sky. I was attending a workshop one time and someone said, you have a natural product. If you see mold in it, it's fine because it's natural. If you're buying from a company and you see mold in your product, you need to contact that company. And if they don't take the appropriate steps, you need to stop buying from them. Because any product that contains water needs to be preserved with a preservative. That can be oxygen. I don't use parabens, but some companies use parabens, and you know that just from reading the labels. Phenoxyethanol is also known as oxygen. Sorry, yeah, that's phenoxyethanol and oxygen are the same thing. So that's just something to keep in mind. Just because something is natural doesn't mean it should go bad or you start molding and be like, that's an ancient product. Then you more or less open yourself to any infection or anything that may come from those little microbes growing. My background is in biochemistry, which I didn't mention, so I'm a little paranoid about that kind of stuff too. So that's one thing to keep in mind. So if something has water in it, whether you're making it, if you're making it at home, then you don't need to go through all of this stuff and be like, oh yeah, but I need to keep a preservative stack. You don't need to do that. But what you want to think about is you're trying to make lotions or mints for your hair or what have you, keep it in the fridge. If you live in Alaska or it's in a really cold place, then, and your house is 60 degrees or whatever, it's always like freezing cold, then you know, you can get past that for the winter months. But other than that, anything that has water in it, regardless of whether you're just kind of playing around getting your hands into making natural products, needs to be preserved. So that's just my little aside. The other thing, which I didn't bring, is milk. Milk is really great. The fat molecules in the milk help to down in milk. Yeah, regular milk. The milk.
Just regular.
The regular milk. Oh, the fat in there helps to soften the skin. It also exfoliates. It stimulates new cell growth as well. So if you like to soak in the tub, or you like to soak your teeth, oh, not the teeth, no. I've been calling since Tuesday, kind of apologies. If you like to soak your teeth, then that's a really good option. You just collect about a cup in the tub, or if you have a baby and you got all this milk that's about to go bad, just take a tub bath every night and use the milk up. And it helps to really soften your skin. If you have dry skin, it's really good. You can also use it if you're doing facials. So yogurt is also a really good option, but I'm covering that in this. If you're vegetarian, another option is coconut milk. There's a lot of fat molecules in there as well that work the same way. So that's something that you can do, and you don't need to get the canned coconut milk that may have some other ingredients in there. You can get like a powdered coconut milk. You might be able to find that at a Walmart or an Asian grocery store or Latino grocery store. The other thing that I want to cover is facial mask. And I brought 2 grain flours. This is stuff that I actually use, so that's why I was thinking. Facial mask using grain flour. That's one of the easiest things that you can do if you say want to set aside like an hour on a weekend or something to pamper yourself. This is one of the easiest things that you can do. If you have oat flour, oatmeal flour, whatever at home, you can even use oatmeal. You just mix a couple. You just mix a couple tablespoons of the grain flour of your choice. And this one I did is with olive oil. It has millet flour and corn flour, and I think I put rice flour in there. And then I put a little bit of water, some olive oil, and some orange blossom water, and just kind of mixed it up until I got a paste. And then I applied it to freshly washed face, and then I just exfoliated with it my face and décolleté area. So you can pass that around. And you can even add like a drop or two of essential oil to that if you wanted to, whether it's like lavender or rosemary or whatever, tea tree. I use olive oil because I peel like a lizard, both in the winter and in the summer. So especially when I'm not at the French market. When I'm not there for like a couple of days, I'm just like peeling constantly just from, you know, being out in the sun and being sunburned easily. So that I put use the olive oil in there to help kind of seal in that moisture as I'm exfoliating. This is orange blossom water. It's from Lebanon, and it's available in most grocery stores. There's also rose water. So I thought I'd bring this bottle. You can open it as well. I thought I'd bring this bottle because you might think, well, I don't want to be bothered with getting herbs or, you know, making water or whatever myself. That's a good option that you like. So if you like the smell of roses or anything like that, you can easily just keep that in your fridge. Keep a little 2-ounce mist bottle with you, and just fill it up whenever you need it. You can use it in your hair. I actually use tea infusions and herbal waters or aloe vera juice as a toner. So after I cleanse my face, I'll mist with that, and then I'll take a cotton ball, and then I'll just get rid of any extra dirt that might be on there, especially when I wear makeup. So, yeah.
Things like orange blossom water and rose water, do they have any real benefit, or is it just what it says? Or
They do have a benefit to them. Rose is an astringent. It's also uplifting and helps to soothe the skin. The same thing for the orange blossom water. So all of the herbs, like lavender is very calming. Rosemary is an antiseptic. Chamomile soothes the skin. So it's just about learning about herbs and essential oils, and then using that to determine what you'll use in your regimen based on the way that your skin is. And I actually just bought this at Sam's. This is my first time buying this. It's called Mother Earth News Food and Garden Series. And what attracted me to this, it was like herbs for growing, cooking, and healing. And I buy things like this because you can always learn a lot from it, and I'm very much into pictures. So if you don't know anything about herbs or essential oils or anything, you want to if you're buying resources, you want to buy things that you can actually go to and say, okay, well, this is what a clove looks like, or this is what lavender actually looks like. And that's one way that I learn. I learned the pictures a lot. Let me just segment in here. And I want to be sure. Just to kind of prove that I'm not just making this stuff up. There's one section in here on cleansing and rejuvenating your skin with herb facial, and then right behind that is a segment on, like this is sage, for example, making hair rinses, which I talked about earlier, and then there was another section that's solely on the magazine, which is making hydrosol, which is kind of using the herbs to make your own, like orange blossom water or lavender water.
you know, there also too, there's livinghealthy.com, or is it livingstrong.com? Livestrong. If you put in the name of the oil that you're interested in, it'll bring up all the benefits and everything.
Mountain Rose Herbs is also a good option. They're out in California. They list like if you search jasmine, it'll list the different products that they sell, and whether it's jasmine absolute or jasmine flowers or what have you, and it will it'll tell you what the properties are. It tells you the scientific name, the properties, the folklore properties, like they break it down into several things. I should probably just get that description and show you them. My wife depended on finding this thing right now. I found it. Okay, here it is. So this is the article in here, how to create floral water face glow. Okay, so the last thing that I want to cover was aloe vera. Most of you probably know it from the fruit of the earth or whatever you find in the store. With the clear bottle with the, yeah. So this is actual aloe vera. This is from my balcony. I cut it this morning. And so this is really good. You can actually find it in Asian stores or Latino stores. They usually have the big leaf. And the way that you use the fresh one is you just kind of cut off the splinter, peel it, like you would a potato, and then you could either blend the clear part or the inner shell, or I can just like Caribbean old, so I just take a knife and just kind of squish it until it loosens up. And there are a lot of things that you can do with it. I grew up like using it on my hair. So after I wash, I just kind of use it. It just kind of, it gives you like a kind of gooey foaming action, and I use that on my hair. I use it on my face sometimes, on burns. It's really good, or on cuts. And so when you're buying aloe vera, try to buy aloe vera that is not mixed with a whole bunch of other stuff, like fragrances and so forth. You want to be able to just use the plain aloe vera for itself. You can use that as a toner, as I mentioned earlier. And you might have like citric acid or something in it. Like I know Walmart sells this big jug of aloe vera and it has citric acid. And the role of citric acid is to just maintain the pH of the product, so that it doesn't go left or right, too acid or too basic. So that was the last thing that I wanted to cover. Aloe vera is anti-inflammatory. It's antifungal, antibacterial, hydrating, moisturizing, and healing. With the facial mask, one of the things that I forgot to mention was that there are different things that you could add to the facial mask to enhance it. So the grain flowers in themselves, like millet, helps to brighten and exfoliate and tighten and tone the skin. But then you can add other things like yogurt that digest bacteria that might be on your skin. Or you can add olive oil or any oil of your choice, as I mentioned. You can even add something like honey that is super moisturizing and helps to give you a vibrant look. So that's basically it. If you have any questions.
You brought up the great. Would you happen to have like a copy of your recipe or recipe that you use to make up stuff?
If you join the mailing list, you'll get emails, or you can just subscribe to the blog. Our mailing list always has unsubscribe links, so it's not, you don't sign up for life. If you ever get an email, you're like, I don't want this daily email, I don't want this. But the content is usually posted on the blog as well. I'll give out some cards. But there are a few things on YouTube right now. I haven't been doing a lot of YouTube lately. I just haven't had the time. But there are a few things like herbal infusions, like hair tea how to do a hair tea for you here on the YouTube channel. There's also one on the blog. And I try to do like ingredients. Oh, I know my hands. There are a lot of like how-to. So I cover ingredients as well. So whether it's in the products that I make, why am I using geranium essential oil, or why am I using aloe vera or DTMS to emulsify a product. So I try to cover things like that. And if there are any questions that you ever have, you can just email me.